Right, how's it going everyone? What is happening? What is going on? Right, it's another episode in the tiny kitchen. Sergeant Furioso's tiny little kitchen. So, hope everyone's had a good Monday. What is going on? Well, this is it. So, I'm doing another curry. I know I'm on a little bit of a curry fest at the moment, but basically I'm doing this because I want something decent to eat, so I'm doing this. We will be doing pastries, probably in the next, not this video, not next one, because the next one, in this video, we're doing a korma, alright? We're doing a korma. I know a lot of people are going to go, oh fucking hell. Korma's a lush, mate. So we're doing the korma, but tomorrow I would like to have a naan with that and rice. I'm not going to do all that in one go. We're going to do, this is not a part 2er, a part 3er. This is a bish bash bosh, all in one fucking take, mate. Hopefully. So I've got my Indian groovy music in the background. There we go. So yeah, so in the next video I'll be doing a naan, a keema naan again, because I've got the last of the keema meat to use up and the dough. But I'll put something different on it this time, and we'll see how that goes. And we'll do a rice. I'm not going to mention what rice, but it will be a rice. Right, what we're doing? Okay, right, we're doing a chicken korma. Now, I've watched a few videos, and a lot of them boil the chicken, and then the chicken just gets chucked in at the end, because really, the korma is about the sauce, right? But I thought, nah, fuck that. Like, don't forget about Mr. Chicken. So we're going to give the chicken some love as well. But we're not boiling it. I will say this, don't boil your fucking chicken, right? You'll lose all the flavour. It doesn't keep it moist, it fucks it up. And if you boil it too hard, it'll just clench up and it'll be tough as shit. So don't boil your chicken, do this instead. Right, so what we're going to do, I've got my little tiny pan here, and I'm just going to drizzle some hazelnut oil in that. That's literally enough. That'll be fine. So the reason why I'm using hazelnut oil a lot is basically because, you know, I am a little bit poor. It is about another few weeks, a week and a half, a bit to go till I get paid. I'm a bit skint, so I haven't had enough money to go and get some oil. Well, I have, but I've just sort of spent it on beer instead. So there you go. But I've got oils, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? So, right, so here we go. So we need the oil in. We need the chicken in. This is on a very low heat. We are literally gonna, you know, very low heat. This will be cooking the entire length of the curry sauce, or the korma will be made. And then the chicken will go last minute. So it's on a very low heat. So I don't know what's going on with the groovy Indian music, but right, I'm going to put in 2 cloves of garlic. It might be overkill, but I want, you know, I don't want the chicken not to be loved, so we're going to do really thin slices. We're not going to chop it up, we're just like into cubes and that, just like into that, you know. Because by the time that chicken's done, this garlic will be as soft as you like, mate. So just quite thin slices all the way through. Oh shit. There we go. Lucky that knife ain't a chef's knife, innit? Otherwise that finger would have been cut there. Shit. Right, okay, so that's all we're going to do. That. Right, now we got a chilli there. Now, remember in a few videos I graded the chilli on how old it was. We had a great granddad, a fucking granddad, and an Uncle Joe. This is an Uncle Joe. So it is quite a few months old. As you can tell. And this is fucking granddad fucking Ives, mate. So we got Uncle Joe and Grandad Ives. So that's what I mean. I just buy chilies and just chuck them in my chilli bin and just let them dry out. So I mean, I've got chilies in there that are fucking years old, mate. I can't even find them. I know they're in there somewhere. Right, I'm going to use half of Uncle Joe. There he goes. Just chuck him back in the chilli bin. I'm going to wash my hands because obviously that chilli is a bit potent. Right, there we go. Right, now I want to put a little bit of salt in this, in the chicken, just to season. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use normal salt. So I've got I had some pink peppercorns that I was gifted from the head chef at work, and I just blitzed them up with some salt. So I've got, it's basically pink peppercorn salt basically. So we're going to use a little bit of that, only a little bit, and just sprinkle that in, preferably actually in the pan and not fucking on the side of it. Right, only a tiny bit, because that chicken's going to be cooking for the remainder of the entire video, really, to be honest with you. So there you go, mate. So let's just mix all that. See, it's starting to whiten already. So you can see that it's already starting to whiten already. So just mix it round, and we're basically just really slow cooking it. I mean, I could have done this in a bit of ghee butter actually, to be honest with you, but it's a bit pointless now. We'll have the flavour from the hazelnut oil. It'll do it good, man. So it's flavour, isn't it? So that hazelnut, that is roasted hazelnut and roasted pine nut oil, and there it is. So you can see where all the oil's like settled in it. It's mad, mate. I love it. Right, let's have a look. So we need to oil this up, doesn't we? So this is not on a ridiculous heat. I'm going to turn it up just one more little tad. So I'm going to put it on like a 4. So we need to create enough oil in this pan. So when that oil starts just bulging out and touching the sides, so I reckon what was that, 4 tablespoons? There we go, about that much. Let's get rid of that. So yeah, so we don't want this up, this ain't a roasted fucking groovy style curry. This is quite a nice slow paced curry, really. So now what we're going to do, so basically going to get a cinnamon stick. So obviously this is, expensive for how much you get. So I'm just going to do about half. cinnamon stick. Rid of that. Put that back, won't be needing that again. Right, bay leaf. Now I've got, let me have a look why bay leaves. I don't really, right, I'm going to put in 2 bay leaves, I don't know. I don't get bay leaves, but people put them in, so, no, what can I do? So you don't want this going too mental. You just want to be gentle. This curry is all about gentleness and not being a knobhead. So, or try not to be. So it's just still kicking off there. There we go. Yes, I've still got like, I've still got like another fucking few more, about another week and a half till I get paid. I am well skint, mate. It's bollocks. I might actually have to ask for a sub at work tomorrow because I'm a bit poor, so I ain't asked one for ages. It's just because I had a few bills to pay and I've had to catch up a little bit, so you know what I mean. So there we go. Right. We need something to work with. We need a little spatula. So here we go. So I'm just going to mix this round. Right, I'm going to know if I've got the right temperature because I'm about to whack in the chilli and garlic paste. So if it starts to, I'm going to put in a tiny bit. Because the last few times I've done this, it's bloody spat back at me. No, that's fine. Right, 1 teaspoon of garlic paste. And 1 teaspoon of ginger paste. A bit more actually. There you go. Right, we'll put them back where they live. We won't be needing them again. There we go. They've gone back home. Right, now we're just gonna, I would actually turn that down to a 3 now. And there you go, mate. And that's just like chill out with it, do you know what I mean? So this is actually quite a very nice relaxed dish actually. So there we go. Just cook out them garlic and ginger on a nice low heat. I mean, I am tempted to put in a little bit of ghee butter, but it doesn't actually say that, so I'm going to try and stick to the method that I've researched. So, I mean, I've done this before, but it was ages and ages ago, and I basically fucked it up a little bit because I basically had the heat on at this stage too high, and burnt the garlic, and they weren't, I just sliced up garlic and sliced up ginger, and it was way too hot, but I carried on and yeah, fuck the dish, mate. I thought it was alright, but you know what I mean, it weren't, it smells quite nice. Right, okay, that's cool. Right, let's see how Mr. Chicken's getting on here. Alright, yeah, that's alright. So there we go. So, see that? So that'll be really nice and tender and done. You haven't got to rush it. Don't boil it. Whatever you do not boil it. God's sake. Why would you want to boil it? Why would you want to boil it? You're just gonna, what's gonna happen boiling it, unless you do it literally like in lukewarm water and heat it up like a boiling frog, but even then you're going to lose the flavour of the chicken in the water for a start. You ain't going to retain anything, and it will just tighten up, and it'll be as tough as old boots, mate. So right, so next we're going to do is done that. Right, we need to put in some base gravy now. So I've got my base gravy. Hopefully we'll be able to sort it out, and we can. So I'm going to put a teaspoon of this. Right, that's the base gravy. Whack that in. I'll put a little bit more in because we'll need a little bit more later anyway. So right, we're going to need more of that later, so that will be left out. That's fine, and we just stir it in basically. Yeah, so this is a very nice peaceful curry. This is my sort of curry. I do like this. It's very tranquil. We've got the cooking, we've got the chicken doing its business with the just garlic, that pink pepper, salt, and the Uncle Joe fucking chilli. I mean, that chilli was probably about, I'd say probably about, well, it's got to be at least about 3 months old, I suppose. But that older one, that's over a year old. I mean, I've got loads of them in there somewhere, but I'll show you my basket of joy. So there we go. So it's basically all that is filled with stuff in there from the bottom. But yeah, so you know, just loads of old chilies and garlics and loads of old rosemaries and thymes at the back there. It's just rammed, mate. Some of them chilies in there, I reckon, probably go back. I would probably say about 7 years, because I've had that not that basket per se, but stuff in there for at least 7 years. You know what I mean? So I'm going to turn this up to a 4 now, just a smidge. Obviously you don't want it hot, but you don't, you know, just be sensible with this curry, because it's a very peaceful, slow curry, but you just don't want to fuck it up. Do you know what I mean? So we've got a nice little simmer going. That's cool. Right, now I'm going to go for a little bit of. Now it puts in coconut milk powder. I haven't got that, so I've only got the coconut cream block. So that's what we're going to use. So I'm going to put in about, well, it's a korma in it, so I'm going to put in about half of this actually. So there we go, about that much, quite a lot. So, you know, I haven't got a lot of this left now, so, but I'm unlikely to use this again. Like I said, videos from now till when I get paid, I'm going to do, if I've got some mince, in the next couple of videos, I'm going to do a mince and onion pie. So, because I now know how to do the pastry, I've done it once, it's a piece of piss. So, if I had a choice of making that dough for that pie, or taking a parcel into London in the peak of currying at fucking 5 o'clock PM from Essex into the fucking shithole, I would say give me that fucking pastry, mate. Where's that flour? That's all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. Right. Right, I'm going to put on the extraction just for a little bit of ambient. So there we go. So obviously, because this isn't like the milk powder he uses, it will take a little bit more breaking down. But we're going to put, what we're going to do now is I'm going to put in a little bit more base in the gravy. So it is frozen, so because I want to keep it, so I just basically whack it on defrost and hope it'll be alright. It should be fine. So I don't want to whack in too much of this. I just want a bit of liquid really. I want a little bit more liquid, to be honest with you. Because although that chicken tikka masala one was actually quite nice, a few days after I had it again, it was nice, but I should have really used more liquid, really. So next time I do that, it's going to be, I think I've learned to make it a little bit more runnier. Just be a little bit more confident with it being a bit more saucy. Alright. So I think I held back, because by the time it fucking reduces down and cooks and all that business, I'm going to whack this up to a 5. I'm whacking it up higher. I know I'm still keeping it quite low, but I just want that coconut block to sort its life out a bit, because it has been in the fridge, so it's starting to come apart. But just keep, you know, there's no rush on this curry, do you know what I mean? So yeah. So I'm just going to have a fag, so fuck it, I'm waiting for that to do its thing. Don't put a Rizzler. Right. Don't put a Rizzler on a semi-wet fucking surface there, so that's good wank. So, yeah, so it was a very peaceful day at work today. It was alright. It's pretty cool. Smashed out, had to smash out 2 bags of potatoes, peel them. All their potatoes are peeled by hand, so, you know, I'm not going to go there on the potato argument, because I think obviously my potatoes are the bollocks, but we're not going to get into that argument. I'm not arguing with that stuff at work, so, but I think what I think, and it is what it is, so there you go. Oh, bollocks, now the fucking phone's ringing. Right, yeah, sorry about that, so that was a phone, so yeah, as just one of me many girlfriends there, so I've got about 4 or 5 on the go at the moment. No, I'm only joking, so. Right, so anyway, this ain't bad. Wish this coconut cream what would actually like sort its life out a little bit quicker. It's because it was in the fridge, that's why I should have took it out a bit earlier. So it's not a major issue, as long as we have that in the centre. I'm going to mix this round. We're starting to get a nice gloss on this. I am quite tempted to put some ghee in this though, to be honest with you. I mean, fuck it, I might as well just do it, fuck it. I mean, is it a sin? Is it going to make it go wrong? I don't know. I don't know, but we will see. You know what, as I looked in my fridge, I've got some, I know this might be a mad suggestion, but I've got some white chocolate in the fridge, and I'm just sitting there thinking, because we have to put sugar in this anyway, and honey, like, just see where I'm going. I'm not going to, I'll leave it, we'll do it as is. So I'm going to put in a bit of that much ghee. I don't know, I don't think I'm supposed to, but fuck it, do you know what I mean? cook it. So there we go. So the whack some ghee in, sod it. And onto the very hardest of cores of the coconut bloody bar, coconut cream, sorry. Come on, there it is. That it's like a bleeding fucking corn. It just won't fuck off. Right. There you go. Right. So I've broken all the coconut cream down there, mostly. Right, now we've got a nice silky base for the curry in there, which is nice. So let's have a little let's check the chicken. Let's check the old low heat cooked chicken. So we're checking the low heat cooked chicken, not boiled to death. Don't boil it, whatever you do, don't do that. I mean, look, it's an opportunity to flavour an extra ingredient that's going to go in anyway, isn't it? You know, oh shit, I'll move me £100,000 worth of camera equipment. Like, do you know what I mean? It's an extra piece of ingredient that's going to go in the chicken curry anyway, and it goes at the end. So while you're waiting for that curry to do its thing, you might as well just flavour it in something. You might as well add in flavour to what's happening. Right, we're hacking this down to a 4 now. So, because we do not want this to reduce down too much. And that's the last bit of that. Right, okay, here we go. I'm going to whack in some more base gravy because I think it needs a little bit more moisture. I'm not overly happy with the moisture content at the moment. So I know it's quite a lot of things. All we do is put in base gravy. This is basically the foundations of the curry. So this is not the curry itself. Alright. Okay, so next we are going to whack in the curry powder. Now this is all do mix your own curry powder. I mean, I've got my own mixture here. We are to put in a teaspoon of this. Now I'm putting in about literally a teaspoon because I know this is quite lethal, so I'm not going to go too mental because I know what's in it and it is nice and it's very rich. Do you know what I mean? So next we're going to go for turmeric. I always clean my spoon before I go to the next spice because I don't want to get all the shit mixed up. So I reckon, let's have a little look. Okay. Right, this video says half a teaspoon of turmeric. I'm going to put in a full teaspoon. Fuck it, I want it that colour, do you know what I mean? So, right, now I've got to put in almond powder. Now, I haven't got any almond powder. You know, that is a bit of a problem. So, I've been having a look to see if I can research a substitute for almond powder, but I don't have to because I'll just make my own. So, do you know what I mean? Just make your own. Right, almond powder. I'm going to put some almonds in here. There you go. Almond powder. Away. Right, there you go, almond powder, sorted. I mean, it's as easy as that, folks. So, didn't have any almond powder, so fuck it, make your own. Right, okay. So, we don't know how much of that to put in, so we're going to have a little... So, I've got like the method written down that I have, and then I've just got the actual ingredients. So, teaspoon. Well, I've got a bit more than a teaspoon here, so I'm going to put a teaspoon and a half at the beginning, and then I'm going to put a teaspoon and a half at the end. Fuck it, why not? Let's have it quite almondy. So we'll just leave that in there for the time being, because that ain't doing anything. So there you go. So yeah, nice one. Alright, okay, back to the method. So it's all good writing down ingredients and that. That's all well and good. But you need to see how it's done. So and there we go. So, okay, it says more base gravy, so we're going to mix the old almonds in. So, I'm not going to put in any more base gravy because I think we've got enough base gravy. I'm going to whack in a little bit more turmeric. I actually think you said a little bit more than this, because it should be a sort of like deeper colour right there, so hang on, let's just whack that in. I mean, to be honest with you, my base gravy is quite dark, so I'm going to put in a little bit of water. Right, this is a little bit controversial, but that's what we're going to do. And there we go. Because I just want to, I've had a, matron, I've had a whoopsie. Oh, and I've just turned the fucking oven off. Pain in the arse. Right, so I just added a bit of water because I just needed a little bit of liquid. So, because don't forget, that base gravy of mine is going to be completely different, and you can never, everyone's base gravy is going to be completely different. Same as their fucking curry mix powder they make, all that sort of stuff. Everyone's is, even if you follow the recipe to the nth degree, it's not going to be the same. Same as, that's the brilliant thing about curries actually. So, or anything else, to be honest with you, really, about food in general. You can never repeat and get the exact same flavours as you can the last time. There'll always be something there'll always be a variable of some kind. Yeah, there'll always be a variable of some kind that'll be different, so, you know what I mean. Right, so we've got this going on, we'll whack it up a little bit. So you can see how it's turned a nice sort of golden colour. Okay. Oh, I've had another whoopsie. They have whoopsies at work, and they go, oh, they just come up, Jar. Like really, like you know, like when you shame a dog, and they have that look of, oh, fucked up, and they just come up, Jar, I've had a whoopsie, and it's like not a whoopsie. It's not like, oh, I've spilled like a fucking tea bag. It's like, it's normally like catastrophic, do you know what I mean? And then you're there for about fucking 10 minutes cleaning up their fucking whoopsie. They're almost like it's like looking after fucking children sometimes, to be honest with you. So anyway, I'm going to turn my chicken up. I'm just tempted to turn this, I shouldn't really be, I'm just tempted to turn the chicken up a tiny little tad. I shouldn't really, because I want this. Actually, no, fuck it, that's a bad idea. I'm keeping it on the temperature that I said I would, and that's that, and that is final. So there we go. So some of you might be thinking, fuck hell, this is taking. All he's doing is walk. All he's doing is the sauce. Yeah, I know, but it's it's important, isn't it? I need to reduce this down now. So. Okay. Oh, that smells nice. That does smell really nice, actually. That's going to be mental. Right, so we put the almond powder in, didn't we? And we'll put the rest of it in later. I don't need to put in base gravy. Right, sugar. Yeah, that's the reason. I must admit, it's a couple of the channels I've watched, their base gravy is not as concentrated as mine. Mine took 4 days to make, so I probably went a bit overkill, but it doesn't matter, it's concentrated. It's like having concentrated fucking juice. It's, yeah, it'll just last twice as long, that's all. So there you go. So, right, sugar. Now, I'm not going to use normal cane sugar. I'm just not going to. So, why should I? Why do I need to? So, I'm going to add not dark brown soft sugar, but it is. But it's not that really dark brown. So, I'm going to add, let's have a little look at what it says. Yeah. We're going to add a teaspoon of this. Well, over a teaspoon actually, but who cares? I'm eating it, not you. So that's what I mean. It's like, just play about with it. Just have a little laugh. After years of me not having a laugh, this is alright. I like doing this. This is pretty cool. So, it's alright. But I mean, I do cook myself anyway, but not to, not anywhere to this sort of degree. Do you know what I mean? It's, I just do, I just do what I do, innit? So, right, okay, that's pretty cool. So we are on that. There we go. Right, so sultanas we're going to add as well. So what I'm going to do is, like I did in the other video, we're just going to chop these up. So it's really the wrong knife for that, isn't it, to be honest with you. Right, I don't know what knives. These are my knives, so don't start. Right, I'm going to use this one's got a slight curve on it, so that means that we can, so when you try and like ease it down, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not really that comfortable, I don't use these all the time, so it might look a little bit sophisticated, but whatever. So just break them down a little bit. I mean, you can put them in as whole if you want, but as I'm doing this dishes for me, I don't need to. There you go. Right, in with them. So not a lot. Like, don't go mental with them, because they are quite. You don't go. Just use your common sense. Do you know what I mean? Right, okay, so next we're going to put in is, I'm going to turn this up, the chicken up by the way, because this is actually, ain't really that far from being done really. I'm gonna let it reduce down a little bit before I put in the honey actually, because I just need to get this. Let's get it bubbling a little bit, and let's start getting them flavours mixed in a bit. So the chicken's cooking very nicely. I mean, this is what I mean. Why would you want to boil this? I don't. Oh shit! Right, we've had a man overboard. A man is overboard. That's annoying because I don't really want that. I'm gonna have to do something really naughty. Sorry about that. I really apologise. I just don't want to get them flavours mixed up at the moment, do you know what I mean? I want the chicken to stay as it is, with the garlic and the chilli in there, and that's it. And the pink salt. So, what did I put out in here? I put out, I don't know. It doesn't matter, it's all going to go in together anyway at some point, so. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to whack it up again. I just want it to start to see a bit of action. 5, I'm going to whack it on a 5, actually I'm going to whack it on a 6. This is now on a 7 at the moment. I just want it to reduce down a little bit. Because don't forget, there's still cream and yoghurt to go in this. So this isn't done yet. Oh no, don't get all carrot, don't start packing away your popcorn, do you know what I mean? This is far from over. So I just want a little bit of heat coming through this chicken now, so it can sort its life out a little bit. So all that garlic is going to be well soft, and guess where that's going? Yep, fucking in there, mate. So it will just you don't you don't have to. If you want to boil the chicken, do it. If you want to lightly fry the chicken in just butter and salt, or just butter, do it. If you want to microwave the chicken, do it. If you want to leave the chicken out and let the midday sun fucking cook it, which it won't, do it. Do what you want. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you do, really. I'm just doing what I'm doing, so there you go. So I'm just feeling that Indian vibe kicking off. That is cool. I mean, I must admit, as foods from around the world goes, Indian cuisine is definitely got to be up there. It's just one of them foods that, you know, anywhere you go anywhere in the world, and everyone knows about and has had, I reckon, a curry or a version of their curries, which originates from fucking, I don't know, I mean, maybe it does, maybe it don't, I don't know. Who knows what the world was like back then? You know, like, I don't know, you can go back as far as you like back in time, can't you? Imagine what it was like. They must have seen the world like just so differently to how we see it today. It must have been crazy. Well, not to them it weren't, obviously, but to us it would be. But, you know, vice versa, I suppose. So I'm just making sure I don't drop any of this chicken into the main dish. That chicken smells lovely, so I've turned it down a bit because it's almost done, and it was going to cook out a little bit in this sauce anyway, so there we go. I'm just trying to get the sauce down to the level that I want it at. putting it on a full 9 there because I've got other things to put in this now. Right, now I'm going to put in the honey. So 1 tablespoon of honey, that goes in. Right, let's put the honey back where she lives. All my condiment, like, you know, like horseradish, like everything. All the glassy shit, all the condiments are in there, mate, with loads of shit. It's mental. That's what I mean, like, I'm a bit poor for the next week and a half, but at the end of the day, I've got all this shit to cook other stuff with, do you know what I mean? So, like, my freezer's rammed, my fridge is cool, my condiment cutlery is fucking awesome. Like, the cake shit and the flowers are, mate, ridiculous. Tin cupboards and pastas and all sorts of shit in there. Do you know what I mean? So, there you go. Well, we'll turn this right down there, otherwise we are going to ruin this. And that's going down as well. That's going back down to a 3. This is going back down to a 4. And now the cream and yoghurt that goes in there. So this will transform the dish now into like a korma. So just want to have a little bit of a taste before we put this in. Shit. So always taste your food as you go. Yeah, that's fucking nice, mate. Shit. Yeah, that's mental. So we're going to put in about a tablespoon of cream, probably a little bit more. There we go. Might be too much, probably is, I don't know. Right, let's stir that in. There you go. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to put this down to a 3 now. So we're just collecting all that stuff around the edges. That's all flavour, right? All that is flavour, mate. Collect all that in. Right, the chicken's looking cool. Let's put the cream back. I've still got more of this to go, so I'm going to have to use that for something else. So I don't like chucking things out unnecessarily, you know. Right, now we're going to put in yoghurt. We'll do about the same. Well, actually a little bit less. Like that, with yoghurt. That goes in. A little bit more, because there's a little bit more gathered on my spoon. Get that off. Fuck's sake. Right, okay. So, just going to wash a few of these spoons up, so I might need them. Might need them, might not, I don't know yet. I don't know, because I'm not a chef, am I? So I'm just a dude who's having a go. And why not? I ain't got nothing else to do in the evenings, to be honest with you. I have actually got to sort that out, actually. Because I'm not going to say what I'm trying to, I don't know. Like, let's just say, oh shit. Yeah, let's just say I've got, there's a few, you know, I can't bother to say, I'm going to get off the top of it actually, because they're saying this is about me cooking me fucking food, mate. Do you know what I mean? So that chicken is nice. I'm gonna actually check that chicken, to be honest with you, because it feels like it's actually done. So I'm just going to take that off. I just want to check it. Right, that's perfectly done. And there you go. So see, you got the gloss on it and shine. That is nice. That's done. So that is done. So anything left to do really now is to put in. I'm going to put in a tiny little bit of. Fuck it. No, just use the peppercorn salt, isn't it? Yeah. A little bit more salt at the end. Only a tiny amount. Only a little tiny sprinkling because it's quite powerful stuff. And let's not forget the rest of the almond powder. And that goes in. And that will help to thicken the sauce up a little bit. Okay, but we do need to, you know, cook it into the flavours of the sauce before we even bother, you know. So yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, I'm going to put the chicken in with all the stuff in it. So that garlic that's in there, that's all as soft as you like, mate. Make sure you get it all in. Okay. Now we're just going to mix that up. So you got that garlic, the chilli. I mean, it's all like, it's all good in the hood, do you know what I mean? So I just want to have a little taste of that. Fuck me, that is mental. That is the bollocks. Fucking hell. So I'm going to bring some of this into work tomorrow. If they want to be dicks about it and don't want to try it, then fuck them, basically. I know there might be one dude who probably is going to be a knob about it, but fuck him, do you know what I mean? I'll just do my thing. I know that tastes the bollocks. That is mental. That's the best tasting korma I've had fucking ages. So, right, so we're going to serve it up. Right, so we've got a nice big bowl there. So, there we go. Because this is ready now, so I need to serve it up. Right, so, get the chicken. I mean, I won't obviously need all this sauce. There's obviously quite a bit up, so I'll just box that up and freeze that. Alright, so oh, there's another bit of chicken there, sorry. So, there we go. Now we can just add a as much or as little sauce as you like. There we go, so we'll add that over there. Now, just as a little tiny finishing touch, obviously do things with a knife, you've got a lot more obviously precision than with a pair of scissors, but just for convenience sometimes I like using the scissors really. It's just basically what I'm sort of used to. So we've got a chilli here. It's not an Uncle Joe or anything like that. It's fairly fresh, but it's more for just garnish really. There is seeds in there because I do want a bit of heat. There we go. And I'm also going to put in just for a little bit, just it's only, all it is garnish, so very finely sliced garlic. There you go. Just going to whack them on. So we've got to be quite careful here. Maybe it's a bit too thick. So, okay. And I can use that garlic for something else, doesn't matter. And then finally, some almonds. So just crush them up in your hands. Whack that over, like that. Slightly too much. And there we go. And that is the chicken korma. So I'll just turn everything off. And that is the chicken korma. So what I'll do, I'll just do a little, might as well do it in this actual, vid. Sorry about this. Right, and there we go. So that's me, chicken korma. So tomorrow I'll do another video, and that'll be a keema naan of some description and rice I'll decide to pick and do. Right, see you in the next one. Very good.